just doing winter workouts, summer workouts. So I mean, it really is no pressure doing just with the people that have your best interests.
How do you think you did in the field drills? It was kind of tough for us to see everything, but how do you think you handled yourself and you did for the scouts?
I think I did pretty well in the field drills. Could have definitely chose different cleats, but for the most part, I can't complain on what I did.
Brandon, we have obviously had a chance to talk to you since. Why did you decide? Why did you want to come on?
Really, it was just the best opportunity for me to continue to chase my dream and to have those who I love back at home that up in the age to see me go out and do that and accomplish that. So really, and also just me being confident in my own abilities. Don't get me wrong, but that's really like the main thing. It's more than just a game to me. It's what I've been dreaming of and doing ever since I was little.
Is this a percentage kind of a thing where you were close to maybe coming back and decided to go, or are you pretty much all in on going as soon as the season?
Obviously, it talks like throughout it and leading up, but I mean, for the most part, I kind of already knew what my situation was going to be. So I mean, after that, it was just really just going out each game, doing what I needed to do, and confirming what I already knew.
So what did you do after you finished your last game here at Penn State? Where did you train? What do you feel like you accomplished? What were your goals and what's today?
I went out to Phoenix, Arizona to train at the Exos, and really throughout my throughout my time there, really it was great. Can't talk, I can't talk. But I met a lot of great people, built a lot of relationships, and really what they have there is top notch. It's probably, if not the number one spot to train at, and it's shown with like all my training and all like the testing that I've done.
And a lot of people will seek feedback on whether to make the decision or not. And did you get any feedback about where you fit in for a team, the kind of rounds, what do you need to work on to improve where your standing would be in a draft?
I haven't heard anything as far as like any rounds type talk because of obviously all the different trades and stuff like that going on. So it's a little hectic as far as like trying to determine what, but for the most part, I've just been here and continue to do what I'm doing and working on whatever I need to work on, and everything will line.
What did you weigh at the end of the season, and what do you weigh now? Because it looked like at the combine you were doing some good work.
At the end of the season, I was around 243, and then at the combine, I was 250. But really, throughout my time training, I was 255. So no, I'm talking about when I was training down at Phoenix. And then today I was at 244. I dropped down a little bit, but.
Brandon, what are scouts, GMs, whatever, telling you? What do they like about you? Are you getting any of that kind of feedback?
I'm getting that feedback. Really, they're just saying this overall length as far as like just God-given abilities, as far as like how big I am, speed, strength, awareness, drive to the football, that type of stuff, and yeah, that's really what's been said. Coverage.
Brandon, what are some ways that Coach Franklin prepared you for today?
Really, today is just a day that we really just go out here, have fun with what we've been doing the whole time. I mean, this is really like low pressure, just going out here, having fun with the guys that we've, trained with and like just played with. So I mean, it's really low pressure.
Brandon, where have teams talked to you about where you're going to be next level? Like, what do when you're going on the whiteboard with them? What are they having you look at, and what do you do with it?
Really, on the whiteboard and stuff like that, it's really just about whether or not you can obtain the information and you just get it. So I mean, as far as like any type of like stuff with whiteboards on the team, it's really just going over that type of stuff.
With the guys you have leaving, Curtis moves into a real leadership role. Do you think he's prepared? How prepared do you think he is to handle that with all the veterans who have kind of moved on?
He's more than prepared, and no concern.
Why so? What are some of the strengths that he brings in that area, I guess, what I'm getting at?
Really, I mean, with his overall plays, he's fast, he's knowledgeable, he knows what he has to do. He's known two different decisions, so I mean, there's a lot of things that's going up for him.
Was there anything specific that you set out to prove today?
No, nothing specific, just doing what I need to do.
I'm sorry, you've played with a lot of guys here, obviously, and you've watched a lot of young guys come into this program. And are there any that you've seen on defense that are ready to take the next step this season and kind of have a breakout year, maybe like you had at one point in your career?
Really just all the younger guys that have to step up. I mean, there's a whole lot to even, rattle off names right now, but they're more than prepared to do it. I mean, they were behind us, they talked to us, and picked the brains, and they were in this position to where they could have done it last year.
Do you have any sense of what Coach Diaz, I don't know, Ellis said he came back and watched practice yesterday and got kind of a feel for what Coach Diaz was like. Obviously, when you turn on the TV next year, things might look a little bit different because he's here and not Coach Pry. But what do you expect from him? What do you expect from this defense next year? What kind of things, if you know anything about him, have you taken away from getting to know him a little bit?
Hold on, can you repeat that?
Yeah, Coach Diaz, if you had a chance to get any sense of what he's like, Ellis said he came back and watched practice. I didn't know if you did as well. But just what do you expect this defense to look like last year? A lot of guys move on, yourself included, Ellis, Jaquan, etc. But Tariq, but you have a lot of guys that played a lot as well. So what do you expect from this defense next year?
Really, it's going to be a completely different defense because what they ran in the ACC or whatever like that, and he brings in a different system. So really, it's going to be a different look. But other than that, I mean, he's put in a position to, make those right decisions and everything. So I don't have any doubt in my mind that he's not going to do it.
Where do you go from here? What's next? You going to stay in psychology? You going to go back out to Phoenix, or where will you train, and what will your process be like until the draft?
I'll be busy.
Yeah.
What's the plan for
Just how busy then?
Huh?
Just how busy? Do you have a lot of visits lined up, or?
Yeah, I'm not disclosing that.
Fair enough.
How much of a relief is it to get this whole thing over? You'll probably never have to run another 40 or do these kind of tests again.
I wouldn't say a relief. Well, yeah, I could say it's a relief because you expect so much from yourself and to perform at a high level, and then you may do it or you may not do it. So I mean, it's a relief once you finally figure out like what all is done. But really, you got to cherish this because there's not very many people in America that are put in a position that we are and able to do it. So you really just got to look at, you got to take the pros and the cons and really just look at what you're grateful for.
You're going to have a lot of opportunities to talk to people. You've had a lot of opportunities to talk to people. Drew might not have that chance, and he came out and threw up a pretty fast 40. I mean, what is it like to see a guy like him that gets this opportunity to showcase his speed and then goes out and actually does it?
Oh, I knew he was going to do that. I knew he was going to run that. It's just really, if the teams are going to take the chance on him and to really give him the opportunity to continue to do what he's been doing for us the whole time he was playing.
We obviously see Brisker's size and athleticism, but outside of as his athleticism is measurables, what's an NFL team going to get in a guy like that as far as teammate wise and leadership wise?
His overall passion, as far as like being a leader and just his passion towards the game. His story is incredible, and really, if you sit down and talk to him about his story and how far he's came, you'll understand why he plays the way he does.
How about when he's out in the field? What stands out the most when you're sharing the field with a guy like Brisker?
His passion. He plays with a lot of passion. He's strong, fast, physical, although he's basically like the perfect safety. So, it's cut and dry as far as his abilities.
Brandon, we've seen it across the board this year with opt-outs, and obviously Penn State, it was a different situation. We hadn't seen that many guys opt out before, but nationally it's happening. So how did you watch the ball game? Ellis said he watched it a couple times and broke the film there. What was it like for you?
I was traveling to Phoenix at the time of the ball, so I wasn't able to see it. But I watched it at different highlights and just kind of caught up on like the main stuff that was going on.
Was that weird for you?
No.
Being in the air? No. What has anything surprised you throughout this process?
No, nothing's really surprised me. I'm really handle myself like a business. Don't really do anything out of the way. Don't put myself in any situation that will like degrade myself. So really, there's nothing that really surprised me about this.
Was the process of picking an agency different, surprising? I mean, how much did your family help you with that? Because it's such an unusual process for a lot of guys.
No, it was my decision, and I made the right decision. There's a lot of different things that my agency holds, a lot of networking and everything like that. So I'm in the best possible place.
Brandon, when you talk with NFL decision makers, they talk about a lot of different roles you could potentially play at the next level in a defense, different schemes. Is your versatility a big topic of conversation?
There's definitely versatility because of my overall size and length and stuff like that. Being able to kind of be like that stand-up edge guy, and also because of my explosiveness to move side to side, laterally, and being able to be off the ball linebacker as well. So there's a lot that I hold.
And how did you feel about your performance out in Indianapolis a couple of weeks ago and a lot of those numbers you were able to put up?
I did exactly what I was doing at Arizona the whole time. So nothing that
stayed the course.
Yeah, nothing that was out of the ordinary.
And we heard a lot this week. We heard a lot this week about Tyler and Kobe competing for that middle linebacker spot. Can you kind of give us your assessment of those two guys and why they each could end up winning the job?
Well, I mean, they're both young guys. They both study the game. They're both knowledgeable. Really, they both aggressive, hit hard. We call Tyler Big Country, but really, those guys they're gonna battle, and at the end of the day, whoever's first or second, I mean, there's not gonna be any bad blood. They know exactly what their situation is. They're both gonna do whatever they can to get on the field and perform. So I mean.
Hey Brandon, have you had any contact with the Eagles?
Yeah.
Like a local day, or are we going to be doing like a top 30 visit? Or?
Local day, I want to say. I gotta figure out about that.
You had so much of, when we talked about your recruitment, it was about growing up and doing this for your community back home. Have you thought about the draft, how you're going to do it? I mean, are you going to, I'm assuming you're going to be back home, or because this was such a big moment for you where you came from?
I'm not speaking on where I'm going to be at or anything like that, but just know it's going to be a good thing to see. It's going to be a special moment.
How have you seen Curtis kind of project and his trajectory through his career?
I'm sorry, what is it?
How have you seen Curtis kind of change through his career? Like, how have you seen him grow up and get better?
Just he's always been athletic, and just knowing more of the playbook, and just transferring from different position to different position. So really, him just getting comfortable with playing different roles is about it.
Last question.
Have you talked with Brent Pry much recently at all? What's that relationship been like?
Yeah, have I call him, text him, whatever. He picks up the phone,
Doesn't send you to voicemail?
No.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Thanks
it. Good